Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 30 of What If Naruto Was Neglected with Jashin sealed inside of him. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was one of the legendary 7 over an Anime King, and enjoy that guys. And also, stay in tune for a brand new episode coming over and making 2. And remember, for new and this is the first time you hear my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, Sasuke was rushing toward the scene to fight Naruto until he was stopped in his tracks and a wave of darkness nearly swallowed him as he had to use his enhanced speed to flash away. As he watched as the forest was turned into dust, all the life around, all the trees, all the stones, the earth itself crumbled, as Jashin and Naruto started to clash. Jashin then went for the motive of insulting him to find out what exactly he wants. She then saw him not respond as she started taunting him even more. She didn't know what she was doing, as it was just infuriating him even more. Gaara arrived, as she was able to slap Naruto literally out of it, because she had to make sure he kept calm. It was more for everyone's sake, not just his, this entire world. They were not ready yet. He couldn't afford to lose his calm right now, as he thanked her for that. Gaara then threw Jashin straight in the forest, as Jashin was surprised by her speed, as Sasuke came out. Sasuke then came to back Naruto, as Gaara pulled off Jashin. The strange thing about it was Gaara was barely fighting. She wasn't really putting in strength into her attacks or anything, and Jashin was confused, because she was supposed to be able to crush Gaara like a bug, but her strength was a lot more stronger than she expected, but still wasn't enough as Jashin started to release more of her power, the darkness, seeping into the earth, enhancing her body she moved. Gaara ignited the entire earth underneath her, as the explosion was massive. Meanwhile, Sasuke threw everything that he had at Naruto, as Naruto either deflected the attacks or got directly hit, but his body healed so quickly, as Naruto sliced one of his arms off and beat Sasuke into a bloody mess. Before Gaara returned, Naruto saw what he was waiting for as he caught Black Zetsu trying to flee the area. As the both of them spoke, Black Zetsu was shocked that Naruto knew his mother. He couldn't believe it at all, but Naruto knew her name and a lot about her. And Naruto told him to meet him at the Hidden Stone tonight, and they would talk. Both of them then left, as Jashin came back, as she screamed to the heavens, lost him once again, as the place rumbled. Some time passed after that as Sasuke was found. Sasuke was later found coming back to Konoha when he collapsed in the forest, as they brought him quickly to the infirmary, as Minato told Kushina and the others about it. As Gaara made her way back towards the village, hidden in the stone, as she saw Kurosaki, as she had to mess with her once again. Meanwhile, as Sasuke was in intensive care as his body was, it'd been through something rough and violent, but he would survive, he would make it. But Naruto seeped out of Sasuke's mouth in black smoke, as he reformed right in the middle of Konoha, unknown to anyone. With that, he made his way. Hinata was shocked when she saw him in her room. She had activated the seal so people couldn't see inside of her room. But now she was stuck in here with him, and as much as she tried to fight it, she could not, as she gave in once again. Afterwards, she cursed herself for doing it once again, as Naruto told her that she would not be killed, but everyone else would be destroyed. As he told her that he would take her, and doesn't matter who she tell, or what she tried to do, it doesn't matter because he will take her, and there's nothing that can stop him, leaving her speechless as he left. Meanwhile, Kushina was confused, as she heard something downstairs. She made her way towards where they had kept Naruto, as it made her feel heartbroken now looking at herself, but she was slammed right inside by... She froze and she saw that it was Naruto standing there, as he simply smiled at her, as he told her He wondered how she would like it, as he left her there. Well, not after doing something to Sasuke, as Sasuke's eyes snapped open inside of the hospital. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I thought you guys gained. Switch across the place, check it out for yourself. So it's new episode. The village hidden in the leaf was calm. Because at this point, no one really knew that he was back. They had killed the mass executioner, the one that went around at night slaughtering their family, their loved ones. So they were calm. The war, everything had settled down because it didn't seem to be any sign of war coming soon. And Konoha was peaceful and, well, calm. That they thought, but they didn't know what everything was brewing underneath them. They didn't know what was going on, as they kept everything in check. The villagers going about their day. At the hospital, one moment, a nurse was walking by the door. She heard something snap. As she reached towards the door, only for her body to be blown to cinders, as the entire hallway was decimated. It was turned into crypts as something stepped out of that burned, charred door. Its furious red eyes looking around. It was none other than Sasuke. Sasuke was foaming from the mouth, his eyes looking psychotic. His arm had regrown, but it was not a human arm. It was brown, claws that were sharp. Sasuke's teeth was showing off fangs, his eyes searching for his next victim with a sick, twisted smile. As he ran, screams could be heard as chaos erupted. Tsunade got up from where she was as she exited her office, quickly making her way wondering what the hell was going on. When she came in the hall, she saw a body sailing by her as it smashed into the wall. It was pulverized by the force that it was thrown. She turned to block her hands in front of her face as a fist connected with her hand. Tsunade was thrown so violently her back broke through the hospital wall. She didn't stop there though, as she kept on sailing, breaking through a nearby stall next to the hospital. Tsunade lay there in the wreckage. Her hands were literally smoking. The punch was intense. The fury, wicked Sasuke stood there. His hair had grown, his eyes wickedly, as he smiled and laughed. He cackled to the heavens. Sasuke's voice, as he turned his eyes on none other than Sakura. "What are you doing? What's happening to you?" she said, confused. And what was going on? Sasuke looked her up and down as he licked his lips. He launched himself towards her only for a blade to swipe down where his hand was going to impale her, because Sakura was so frozen she could not move. As the blade clashed against his demonic arm, Sasuke was stopped by chains that wrapped around his stomach and the blade as he was yanked and thrown. He was violently smashed into the ground. As Mito stood there, with Minma standing in front of Sakura. "What the hell is going on?" said Minma, as Tsunade came back inside, bruise mark on her hands, just healing. "Sasuke, what are you doing?" Mito shouted, as laughter could be heard. Sasuke slowly looked at her. He was still binding the chains, as he simply smiled wickedly. Before, his eyes seemed to recognize her. Mito thought that he was calming down, but he was not. He said a few words. "Cannot harm you." As he looked towards Minma, he said the same thing. He then looked towards Tsunade and Sakura's smile returned. No objection there. As Mito was shocked when she had to restrain her chains because an overwhelming amount of darkness seeped from his core and flooded her chains. She had to shed them and leaped away as she watches the ground melt away. It had aged and it had rotted the stone, breaking apart. As Sasuke dropped down to the lower floors, chaos ensued. Minma quickly chased after him as the others quickly made their way. Meanwhile, at the office, Minato, after hearing the report in the hospital, he flashed away. All those sick people in danger, he couldn't allow them to get hurt. Despite that, the tower was still secured, as most of the envoys went with him to subdue Sasuke as they didn't know what the hell happened to him. The few remaining envoys in the room were there to protect whatever was within this tower. After all, this could be an attack to lower the Hokage and get to the tower. As a few envoys in there waited, as the others already went out with their Hokage to defend the village, suddenly a black mass of smoke gathered in the office. In a second, the envoys pulled their blade as they strike, ready to take down the intruder because this wasn't any normal Konoha ninja. But all of their blades were blocked by several whips of smoke that seemed to be as tough as steel. Seeing the fact that the blades did not just go through the smoke, the wicked, terrifying smile of Naruto scared them to their core. Envoys were known to master emotions, but now they were terrified as Naruto's laughter spread throughout the entire tower. A presence descended upon the tower as the envoys dropped to their knees. It was not the presence, it was because of their fear. They were seeing things that would scar them for their life. Just a mere glance into his eyes, something that their soul, their mind could not take. As Naruto moved, he spun. With a simple spinning motion, their heads were taken off their shoulders. As he walked over, kicking out with their severed heads, he placed his hand down on the ground. As his darkness flooded through the tower, it was here. As he descended down, he tore through the neck of a secretary. He did not spare anyone that he came across was taken down. Most of the envoys and the ninjas already fled the office, the Chunins included, so it wasn't that much people that were here. As Naruto descended and kept on descending down to the final ground, until he reached it. They had it stored away. As he slammed his face into the wall, obliterating it, not even bother to use the seal to get inside. As Naruto kept on moving down into the dark passageway, the secret basement of the Hokage, as he continued to go down and down, until he reached a massive steel door. It was fortified by seals. As Naruto reached and placed his hand on it, the moment he did, a surge of electricity flooded through his body, the seals trying to tear him apart. But he simply laughed, as his chaotic laughter flooded through the air once again. It sounded chilling to anyone that might hear it. As Naruto placed both hands onto the steel door, as he siphoned all the chakra out of the seals. And the darkness did the rest as the door was crumbled into dust. He then stepped inside the room. As he activated one of the trap seals, the moment he did, fire came down to incinerate him like a torch. As Naruto raised his hand up, hellfire literally blasted from his palm and tore apart every ceiling mechanics in the top of the room. As Naruto roared, his violent roar sent tremors, shockwaves down into the dark, seeping hall, breaking the illusional genjutsu that make it seem like he go on forever. As everything was shattered. As he then came upon it, inside the room there was a massive scroll, really large, one like what Jiraiya kept on his back. As Naruto made his way over towards it, the moment he touched it, he felt a dark, demonic chakra inside. The Shikaku was contained. He once again drained the seals that fortified it so he could not move it, and he then picked it up. He ripped open that strange dark dimension once again and tossed it inside, before he simply walked out. Meanwhile, Sasuke was thrown violently as a Rasengan smashed into his stomach. Before he could hit the wall though, Mito dropped from the sky, her hands cuffed together as she slammed it into his skull. His body dropped like a bomb, crater in the ground. As he lay there, despite their hits, it wasn't hurting what was inside of Sasuke, yet it was hurting the body. As his body was badly bruised, battered. This body already seemed dead after all the serious damage they done to him. Mito had tears in her eyes. She hated doing this to Sasuke, but she couldn't allow him to kill the people. He was trying to kill everyone, as Menma stood there with his three-pronged kunai. Sasuke was slammed hard in the chest by Minato, who placed a seal on his chest that spread over his body. As he laughed, "You think, hold me this," he said, as he did not form words properly. As the seal blinded him, but Sasuke simply laughed. His laughter so demonic it chilled the souls of many ninjas nearby, a protective barrier so that he could not escape. He then screamed, a scream that sounded like hell itself, like screeching souls trying to get free. As Minato had to move, as his demonic arm severed from the body, and turned into spikes that flew all around the area, trying to impale him. As Sasuke tried to get up, but the seal was holding him down. He then did something horrific. One of those spikes stabbed into his stomach and picked him off the ground, ripping him out of it despite the seal containing him. As he was able to get back to his feet with a large spike through his stomach, he dodged the chain that Mito sent after him. As he launched towards her, she pulled back her fist, infused it with chakra. "I'm sorry, Sasuke," she said, as she thrust it forward, but at the last moment he reacted swiftly and ducked underneath it. A kunai was thrown right into the center of them as Menma appeared. With her Rasengan in hand, a demonic tail sprouted from Sasuke's spine to impale Menma. But it stopped inches away from Menma's face, allowing Menma to drive the Rasengan directly into his heart. A single tear slipped from Menma's eye, as Sasuke was sent sailing as he slammed its barrier. As Minato reappeared in a flash, Sasuke slowly picked himself back up with a decrepit smile, although the body that he was currently inhabiting, the thing that was inside of him, felt the body breaking away, and he could not stay in it for much longer, as it was so damaged it was about to fall apart. He was using great strength to hold it up. That was made perfectly clear when he dropped to his knees, the body giving out as the body was broken and battered. He needed a stronger host. This body was giving up on him. It was then that it froze. It quickly bowed its head in submission. As Minato was confused by that, when he turned as he saw who was standing there, everyone was shocked. Standing there in his black cloak, his red striped shirt, with darkness seeming to just be inside of him. You could not see his chest. You could see the red stripe on the shirt, but nothing else. Black pants. The cloak was giving off so much darkness. The ninjas outside was shocked who was holding up the barrier. They had no idea how the hell he got in. One moment he wasn't there and next moment he was. "Master," Sasuke says. He bowed his head in submission. "Even while you look like that, they hold back. If they hadn't and put in the real effort, they would have taken you down. You did a good job though. Come here," said Naruto, as Sasuke came over to him. As Naruto dragged his hand through his chest. "Time for you to go back." As the thing nodded as it screamed. Before, Sasuke's body dropped down to the ground, motionless. "I pity," said Naruto as he picked Sasuke up by the neck. In an instant, Menma was upon Naruto, a Rasengan already in hand that he poured wind chakra into. Just as he did, a black hand smashed into his face. He was sent sailing as Mito leaped and caught him. She had to stomp her foot in the ground to stop him from being sent sailing away. As Menma's face was bruised badly, blood was seeping from his mouth and his nose was crooked from a single black hand. As Naruto's hand was leaking dark smoke. "I didn't even get to say anything yet and you just attacked me like that. You know, you should really teach him some manners, Minato," said Naruto. Minato narrowed his eyes. "Oh, you couldn't be wondering how my life. I'm sure by now your sensei told you." "Oh, he's dead," said Naruto with a laughter. Minato clenched his fist as he gripped the three-pronged kunai in his hand. He looking like he was ready to attack. "I wouldn't do that if I were you," said Naruto. "I mean, I might just kill that bitch of a woman you call Kushina." "What did you do to her?" said Minato. "Where's my mother, you monster?" said Mito. "Oh, calm down. And monster. Not what I'm going by these days, but you will know soon." Poor little Sasuke. Spend all of your life training to defeat me one day, and yet you're reduced down to this. Sasuke slowly cracked open his eye, as Minato was shocked that Sasuke was still alive. But he then saw something strange. Naruto's hand was glowing, a shade of darkness, and Sasuke was awake. Menma straightened himself back up. "What's going on?" "Oh, you're awake. How have you been?" "You..." As Sasuke tried to move his hand but he could not. "What are you doing to me?" "Oh, nothing really. But you disappoint me, Sasuke. Thought you'd at least be a bit of a challenge. So for that, And seeing that you feel against me, I'll be taking your soul now. What? Before Sasuke could say anything, Naruto's hand ripped something out of him. All of them saw it, that strange blue glow. As Sasuke's body fell to the ground limp, as Naruto opened his mouth, that defied what any human could, as he sucked the thing into his mouth and swallowed it. Ah, said Naruto as he turned. What did you do to him? Said Mito. Minato and Menma had tried to move, but they could not. Something was wrong. They could not get close to him. There was this force stopping them from getting too close. Sorry, couldn't let you interrupt, said Naruto as he tapped his foot on the ground. And it was gone. He licked his lips. Oh, and for what I did to him. As I said, I simply took his soul. His soul? Yes, everyone has one. Even you, said Naruto. And I'll be taking all of yours in the end. But not now. There's some things I have to do. And things are forming perfectly. And if I were to kill you now, it would be just a disappointment, a waste of time. After all. Father, said Naruto. Minato clenched his teeth at that. I want you to see me rise to glory. As stupid as it sounds, you're still my father. Well, in some sense. So, I want you to be proud of me when I rise to glory. Why would I ever be proud of a monster like you, said Minato. As Naruto sighed, that hurts. In here, said Naruto as he poked his chest. But you know what? I'm gonna give you that one. I did. As Naruto ripped right through the space in front of him. And ripped out the head and tossed it towards Minato. Minato's eyes calculated the head coming towards him, thinking it was a trap. But he saw who it was as he caught it. Minato's eyes became murderous. There's a little sensei there. Chains burst from the ground as their edge were sharp to impale Naruto. Menma flashed forward in an instant. As Menma wasn't wasting time, his blade in his hand got fused with wind chakra. So much it was heavy. Because he packed it with so much power, he was gonna tear him into half. The chains were the first one to reach Naruto to impale him, as Mito's eyes were glowing red. The chains took on a darker view as she tapped into the power of the fox inside of her to pierce him all over. But before anything could reach him though, a hand came out from the earth. It was large. It was really large. Claws that were so sharp they glistened. Pearly white claws. As they grabbed the chains, Menma had to move back. The hand started to absorb the chalk from the chains. Why did you do that? Said Naruto. But there was no one that responded to him. Minato flashed behind Naruto, but the hand came up another one and surrounded Naruto. No, said Naruto as he kept on talking to no one that was there. I can't let you do that. It's not time yet. No, Naruto said in anger. I promised. And as much as I hate it, I have to. I won't let you. As Naruto gripped his head, I said no, he said, as his literal fingernails dig into his face. As he started to tear at his own skin in anger. Before he released his hand, as the two hands went back into the ground, he shook his head. Sorry about that, said Naruto. Having some internal problems, he said with ear quotes. So, where were we? Oh yes, just about to leave. Sorry, can't spend too much time here. Too much things to do. As Naruto watched Menma, as he saw Menma gathering something. Natural energy, huh? As Menma wasn't going to let him leave. Just like Jiraiya. Well, his didn't work. What makes you think yours will be better? I made myself a promise a long time ago. And that is I will see what my feet, said Menma. You're not leaving here alive. As Naruto sighed. Seems you people don't understand. Last time you killed me. And, well, I'm back. Hey, father, why don't you go and check on your wife? I mean, you don't want her to get killed. Where's my mother, said Mito. You mean our mother? You are not a part of this family. How much time do we have to tell you before you get through that thick Skull of yours. You're an abomination. A beast, a creature. And no one wants you here. You're a monster. No one likes you. Can't you get that through your skull, she said. Wow, that hurts, said Naruto. You know, if I wasn't going to kill you all one day, that would have been painful. But never mind. You can stop gathering your nature energy. I already got what I wanted. Minton heard his eyes. You know, you should keep your office more secured. And with that, Naruto's body bursts into darkness. A shade that seemed to flood the entire barrier. Remember my words. I told you that I would be back. I know I'm here. Menma, you think you can hide your way from me? You know exactly what I'm talking about. I found out that your relationship is on rocky terms. Or did you two break up? Was that because of me? Because of what I did to her? I mean, how can you go from a king to a mere scum? I'm sure she enjoyed our night very much. You monster, after violating her, you dare speak to me, said Minma. You mark my words, Naruto. I'll put you down, he screamed. Yeah. Put me down this, put me down that. Keep on dancing my plea. Keep on moving the strings. Keep on doing what you're doing, thinking that you're controlling everything. I'll be watching from the shadows. Hey, sis, heard you got yourself a girlfriend. Good on you. I wonder if I killed her already. Nah, I'm just playing with you. Alright, see you guys, he said. As the darkness seemed to just vanish. There was no poofing or anything, it just vanished. Minato gave them a signal to drop the barrier after he felt nothing. Immediately, he flashed away in a quick burst of speed. As he gripped the clone. As he had to check on Kushina and he had to check the office. When he arrived there, though, it was nothing but chaos. The bodies of his uncles, the receptionists, and the few that remained inside, the workers, all of them, were dead. Men must stop gathering his nature energy. He had learned how to gather nature energy, while, in his time of self-loathing, he had to get stronger after all, because his fight with Naruto had proven at first that he wasn't enough even though he killed him. Minma was always looking towards the future, and there was also dangerous threats out there the same way, so he still had to get stronger. But now, he was back. Later that day, as Minma was standing in front of the grave, despite what Sasuke did, he was never an enemy to Konoha. I know he was gone because of that thing. Minma clenched his fists. He got away. He didn't have time to enter his sage mode. But still, would that have been enough? Jiraiya did not stand a chance. Would that have been enough against that thing, whatever it had become? His mother was safe. She was just locked inside. She was safe though. Minma could see how this was playing out. He wanted to save them for last. Despite everything that happened, he never tried to kill them, harm them, but never tried to kill them. He wanted to take everything away from them, but Minma wouldn't allow that. He would kill him. His father was currently doing the preparations for war. They had to find out where he was. The Raikage would slap pissed off man at Naruto for taking Yujito. And given the Master of the Eight Tails, it is certain that Naruto would go there. Because right now, it seems like perhaps he's with that group, the Akatsuki, gathering tail pieces, because he took the One Tails. And this was a good way for them to find his location to put him down. He's hiding. He was a coward. Why would he hide if he had the power to kill them? No, he was nothing but a coward, Minma thought, and he would die. As Minma clenched his fists, he was going to be the one to put him down, to take his life once and for all, to make sure that he doesn't come back. And he would make sure of that. Meanwhile, on the Hokage's monument, as Ami was sitting down, behind her was Mito. As she was sitting behind her, "Are you alright?" asked Ami. "Yeah. Something just scared me today." "Don't worry, we'll get him. That's not what I'm worried about. He wants us to suffer. He wants to take everything away from us. And he wants to take our precious things away. And you're one of my greatest precious things. And I don't want to lose you." Ami smiled at that as she turned. She turned to face her as she gave her a kiss. As Mito kissed her back, "I'm gonna stay with you through all of this. And I'm gonna help you put him down. After all, I wouldn't be a good girlfriend if I did not. Now would I?" As Mito smiled at that, but she was worried. She was worried for her family, the close people around her safety, because that monster would definitely try to hurt them in ways to make them suffer, and that is by killing their loved ones, and she would not allow that. Meanwhile, at the stone, as Naruto was standing on top of the Tachikagi's tower, as he heard footsteps behind him, as he was none other than Kurosaki, as she stood there. She had a pissed off look on her face. "Oh, what's wrong with you now?" said Naruto. "I told you to keep your mouth shut about what happened between us." "But I didn't say anything," said Naruto in a calm tone, his face looking quite jovial. "When you were talking with my grandfather, you kept on making suggestive monetary. You want him to find out, don't you?" "Well, who wouldn't? I mean, you are hot," said Naruto. She clenched her fists. "If my grandfather finds out about this, you wouldn't like it," she said. "Well, it wasn't like it was forced. I mean, you did enjoy yourself, didn't you?" She did not answer that part. "Keep your mouth shut. No one should ever know about this. It was a one-time thing that I slip up and it's never gonna happen again, if you say so." As she growled a bit, but she changed the topic. "You gave my grandfather the one tails. You took it from Konoha. I also heard that you destroyed a couple of those tree huggers. Well, they deserve it." She narrowed her eyes at him. "Do you really want to work for the Hidden Stone?" "Why wouldn't I? I mean, there's a hot girl here that I can spend some time with. And plus, my wonderful Gara," he said. "Has she come to you already?" said Naruto. "That's not gonna happen," said Kurosaki. "Oh, trust me, it will. You're gonna find it real interesting very soon. I don't swing that way." "Oh, when she's involved, every girl swings that way," said Naruto. "Well, I'm not just every girl." "We'll see about that. Now, what were you saying about me joining the Hidden Stone? Were you serious about that? To serve me when I do become Tachikage?" "Because I can use you," she said. "You've proven to be reliable so far." "So, you want to use me, huh?" said Naruto. "Of course I do." "Workly, or sexually," said Naruto. "For work, you idiot." "Well, I can be used any way that you want," said Naruto. "So really, it's all up to you. I'm done entertaining this stupid conversation. But if you're serious about this, I could probably make you stay in my ranks in the near future. As long as you don't do anything that undermines my authority, because I'm in charge. You got that?" "Of course," said Naruto. "Why would I ever, in a million years, disobey you?" "Don't be a smartass," she said, as she walked away. As Naruto stood there, unmoving, as he waited and waited, as he looked up to the heavens. He then looked to his side, but there was no one there. He seemed to be angry though, but then he calmed himself. Suddenly, after waiting a few more seconds, his eyes wandered around the corner behind him, where someone was a distance away from him. You know, if you're afraid. As Naruto vanished, as he appeared behind Zetsu, "I can still catch you before you leave." Zetsu was shocked by the speed, but he did not show it on his face. "Tell me, what do you know?" said Zetsu. "About your mother," said Naruto. "How do you even know that?" said Zetsu. "Well, she kind of provided me assistance in the past. So I offered to free her when I do get back here." "How are you even alive? I thought you were dead," Zetsu said. "That's a tricky story. I'll make your mother explain to you when she's back." "So you truly intend to help me revive my mother, because she provided you with assistance?" "Well, more than that. You see, she had been locked away by your, brother Seal, because you are her son, correct?" Zetsu narrowed his eyes but did not say anything. "I was able to break the inner working of Seal to enter inside her little domain, where she's been locked away for so long now. Not seeing the outside world, just tucked away, like a puppet, watching the scene outplay in front of her. A hill, a lonely hill with a flower. On top of it, one single flower, the rest of it was scorched. Probably a testament to your brother, Fuinjutsu, the sealer away in that powerful seal. to show her what she did to the world, what she created in this world of chaos. A single flower though of hope, that she would get free one day. I wonder if you're that flower. Or perhaps I am, who came to free her, said Naruto. I would be the one to bring back Mother, said Zetsu, not you, or anyone else. Well, I'm not gonna take that away from you. I'm just saying all these years you've been the one behind everything. We spoke about what has been going on. Well, I didn't know who you were, but she did tell me something. About what happened before she was sealed away. And so we got to talking and I figure out what is going on. You in the shadows, organizing a cascade, and everything. That was really smart of you. How do you even know about the Akatsuki? You fall before anything happened. Well, let's just say I wasn't always awake, said Naruto. What do you mean by that? I have to keep some secrets to myself. But as I was saying, your mother was trapped there all alone. It's been years, a long time since she got some action. What, said Zetsu? Oh, did I tell you? I kinda screw your mom, said Naruto. And it was awesome. And that's a big part of it what I want to do again. That is why I want to release her. Zetsu narrowed his eyes, a bit of anger. Oh, no offense. She is your mom, but she's hot. Not to mention cute. And not to mention she can do certain things with her hand. Her perfect balance of chakra. Because of her Byakugan, she can see all those pressure points. And I must say it's amazing, said Naruto. Zetsu cleared his throat. Oh, you want more details, said Naruto. No, said Zetsu. How do you intend to help me? Well, I already have the 2 and 1 tails. I'm supposing that you have the rest. I know where the 9 tail is. What don't you have? 8, 9, 1 and 2, Zetsu said. Well, I can provide you with those. I could cause some trouble in Kumo while I'm at it. Yeah, I'll go for the 8 tails for you. But one more thing, the Akatsuki, that troublesome group, I need it gone. What? You're working with me now, and I don't like other people that I don't want to work with, so I'm gonna kill them. Is that okay with me and you? You think you're that powerful, Zetsu said. Do as you please. The Akatsuki is a group of S-rank missing names, not to mention a leader of the group. Well, the so-called leader. He will squash you. Oh, planty, said Naruto. You have no idea what I am, do you? Well, how could you? But, don't worry. You'll get to know in the future. But I'm gonna exterminate this group of yours. I don't like them. And you and I are gonna bring back your mother. As long as you fall in line, everything will work out perfectly. Why would I abandon my plans and listen to you with no reassurance? Naruto's eyes became cold. They seemed almost lifeless. Listen to me. I can do this with or without you. I'm concerned that you spend so much time of your life trying to bring her back. I thought I would let you in. But if you don't want it, I can exterminate you along with the Akatsuki. So, choose your words carefully. Said Naruto as Zetsu felt it. The tension. The feeling of him being snuffed out if he did not choose his next words carefully. Fine. Go after the Akatsuki, said Zetsu. If you die, I will just continue my plan. Firstly though, tell me where the 1 and 2 tails are. Well, the 1 tail is here. The Tsuchikage has it. I made him put it somewhere safe. Why are they even allowing you in their village? Well, just like you. Control certain things. I do as well. So don't worry, that guy, said Naruto. Everything will work out fine. You'll have your mother back soon enough. And I'll get to tap that ass once again, said Naruto. Zetsu snarled, really pissed off the way that this man was talking about his mother. Oh, don't worry. She's a grown woman. I mean, who are you to deny her from enjoying the pleasures of life? Besides, you're her will, basically. Not actually her son. So don't worry. I still need you so you won't die. But you get to meet your mother again. Do you know what my mother wants? Zetsu said. Oh. Both of us has the same goal in mind. But mine's a bit more wicked. So you don't have to worry about anything. Well, we'll talk soon. I heard that the Raikage wanted me dead Because I took the two tails. It would be fun to give him a visit. Oh yeah, and when I do summon you, you'll give me the location of the Akatsuki members. Summon me, said Zetsu. Oh, said Naruto as he pointed towards Zetsu's arm. Zetsu was confused when he saw a mark in his arm. It was off a skull. A white skull burned into his arm. What the hell? Did it while you weren't looking. Zetsu was confused through this whole thing. He had touched him once bit. Zetsu didn't understand what the hell was going on. But Naruto wouldn't give him an answer as he made his way off. Time skip. A few moments later. As Naruto sat down in the bed, Gaara draped her hands over his shoulder. As she kissed him on the cheek. Are you alright? She asked. How is everything going? Personally. I'm keeping that base, said Naruto. As she sighed. We have to do this quickly. I can't have you losing control on me. I won't let it happen, she said. Don't worry. Everything is falling in line. You're the one that is holding me back, and I thank you for that. But that woman, seeing her and her insults, it's really getting to me. I know that I shouldn't be going back to Konoha right now because of the state that I'm in. And without you I could lose it. But the thought of you and the thought of what we have to do and about what is precious to us give me enough strength to hold it back, said Naruto. As Gaara simply cuddled up on his back. How do you think he's doing? She asks. Well, he's the best of both of us. There's nothing that he can't overcome. Just a bit more time, said Naruto, and everything will work out perfectly. Is everything done on your part? A long time ago, she said. Alright then, said Naruto as he spun around, before locking lips with her, as she kissed him back fully. Why don't we have some fun right now, he said, as she giggled. I was hoping you would say that. Time skip. What did you learn? Said the masked man. He died. The masked man clenched his fists. Sasuke had made his way off in haste and got himself captured. Who killed him? That man, Naruto. He's back. Do you find out how he's still alive? No. At the moment I'm not so sure. As the masked man clenched his fists. This little brat is ruining all of his plans. Everything he's worked for so far. He wanted to have Sasuke by his side, but now he's dead. Damn it. Do you know where he is? Yes, Zetsu said. He's currently at the hidden stone. As the masked man nodded, Zetsu knew what he was doing. If Naruto was truly powerful enough to help him, well then, he wouldn't be bested by Obito. So, if he falls, it wouldn't really matter because he still had his plan, his backup plan. But if he wins, and he truly intended to bring his mother back, well, he could do that. That is his last known location. I watched him leave Konoha, and he headed there. The hidden stone, huh? Said Obito. Wonder what he's doing there. Time skip. As Naruto stood in the rocky terrain, unmoving. He wasn't doing anything, he just stood there. His eyes were closed. But this darkness was around him that blocked out even the sun. There was no shade, it was just pure darkness that swallowed the entire area around him. He did not move or flinch when someone appeared out of nowhere. A swirling vortex. Naruto, we really should talk, the boy said. As Naruto stopped as he slowly turned. As he looked over, this new person was wearing the Akatsuki clothing. And how may I help you, he said. Given your sudden appearance, you're a wild card here. And you also took something that doesn't belong to you. Took something that doesn't belong to me. What do you mean by that? More precisely, you killed someone that you shouldn't have. You are interfering in my plans, and I don't like it. Oh, is that so? Said Naruto. And you are? Name is not important. The important thing is here that you stop interfering before I have to deal with you, personally. Oh, you mean kill me, said Naruto. As Obito narrowed his eyes. Trying to make a mockery of me, he said. No, it's just, you coming here and saying that you're gonna kill me is quite funny. Why is that? Well, I was planning to hunt you down one by one, but you coming to me is better. But, sorry. I'm currently busy at the moment. And you're interrupting me. As Naruto closed his eyes once again and took a deep breath, the darkness started to seep from his body. Obito stepped forward. He could not afford to have any wild cards right now that is messing up with his plan. As a kunai dropped from his sleeve as he tossed it. It whistled through the air with incredible speed. Obito was just testing something. The kunai ripped in Naruto's chest as it just stopped, but Naruto still did not open his eyes. Obito watched as the darkness swallowed the kunai and it was gone, like it wasn't even thrown. He was confused. As Naruto didn't open back his eye, he then turned to the right. Alright, that should be calm enough, he said. Coming to you, boss. As he burst in smoke, black smoke. Obito blinked. Was that a clone? What the hell was going on? As he could no longer sense Naruto's presence. Meanwhile, standing on top of one of the highest peaks in Kumo was none other than real Naruto. Black smoke flooded his body as it flew straight into him. As his shoulders sagged a bit, as he seemed to get a lot calmer. As he shrugged off the voice that were popping in his head, he couldn't allow them to get in his way right now. He had to deal with the mission first. Gar was right, thinking about her. Yeah, she kept him in focus. As he made his way down the hill, lightning rippled through the sky. As they were really high up and a lightning storm was over to the side where he was. He liked the lightning. How powerful it came down in a single swipe that he could wipe out everything if it was powerful enough. As Naruto held his hand up to the heavens, darkness seeped into the sky as the lightning storm was magnified. As Naruto then yanked it down, a bolt of black lightning split through the heavens and struck right into the center of Kumo. Chaos spread instantly as the lightning obliterated a few buildings, tearing into the mountain peak that the village was on. As Naruto smiled before he leaped and dived down. Meanwhile, I messed up. As Jashin looked towards her brother. As Shinigami looked towards her. This is bad. Yame, said Jashin. That was his true name. The Shinigami was a title. Whenever she called him by that name, he knew that it was serious. As Yami came over and he looked at her. You fought him, didn't you? Yeah. There is something that I can't overcome. His power, his strength, said Yami. No. It's something I can't fathom. I don't know what it is. I need your help. I really messed up this time, Big. And you're right. I'm seeing it now. His very existence. What he's planning is something big that can change the scale forever. And you know who will get involved if he does mess with the balance of everything. And then problem would rise once again. But I'm starting to worry about something. After he died, where he went? You know? Asked Yami. No, but I have a suspicion that he met him. Him, said Yami. He saw the look on his sister's face. She was afraid. No. It can't be. He's been locked away for so long now. Yes, he gets a certain amount of souls, but it can't be him. The wicked, the cruel, the dark, the corrupted are sent to him for punishment. He cannot leave his domain. What if Naruto made a deal with him? That is why he's back. Even if that is the case, there is no way that he can come back. This human, even though he's no longer human, Naruto, he's not that powerful. He might be hiding behind his wealth of darkness, as you said, that not if you can fathom. But still, he's not that powerful. We aren't the only ones that locked him away. So it can't be that. It can't be him. Look, that's the only reason why I see this going on. It's Naruto. I basically raised him from he was young. But the insults that I threw at him, I saw something cracking. And if it wasn't for that red head of his, well, it would have been bad. I saw it too late though. but yet he got so calm so quickly. He's restraining something that I felt. I felt a small piece of it. And brother, it's unending. Mixed with fury and hatred, but there's something else there that I don't understand. Get that off your mind, sister. It is not that man. Alright, fine. But if it isn't him, we still have to get rid of Naruto. Do you know where he is? No. He's hiding his presence very well. But I'm gonna search his entire world. I'm gonna find him. There's an easier way. What's that? The humans at the village, where he grew up. They're out for him as well. Get their help to find him. Some of them are quite powerful, enough to hold him down, for he to deliver the final blow. Because we both know that none of them has the strength or the power to kill him. Only you. You created this monster. Now, destroy it. I'm gonna need your help, she said. You're still my sister. Despite your stupid actions, of course I'll help you. Meanwhile, at an unknown location, a boy. It was hard to tell his age. He seemed to be in his teens or his early 20s, it was weird. Given his height, but his face didn't look that old. He was sitting down in a small throne. It was made personal for him. He had his foot propped up on someone's back. When he heard footsteps behind him, "Ah, I've seen that you made yourself very comfortable," a voice said as the boy turned. "Well, no need. You are above them. The strong rule and the weak serve. Why hide it?" The boy did not say anything. As a man, the thing, whatever was behind him, narrowed its eyes up. How is their plan coming along, the boy asks. Don't worry. They will succeed. And it's almost time. Do you miss them? What am I saying? An offspring always seeks out the comfort of his parents. The thing said before it simply walked off. As the thing walked, there was white hair and a smile on its face, knowing that soon enough, it would be free. But guys, if the insights are right here, if you want this part to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off for now, see you guys soon, peace.